You've read her story, The Unnamed Widow of Second Kings. I was first introduced to her a few years ago at a women's prayer breakfast. The fact that I attended this event in itself was a miracle. I've always been a church girl, but didn't possess the religious fervor I felt one should have in order to give up a Saturday morning in exchange for some eggs, grits, and the gospel. But there I was, enjoying the fellowship of the beautiful sisters of the church. The guest speaker that day was a college professor and a minister. Breakfast was particularly good, so I missed the first few minutes of her sermon. She asked us to turn to our Bibles and open to Second Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. So she began to read. The wife of a man from the company of the prophets cried out to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that he revered the Lord. But now his creditor is coming to take my two boys as his slaves." I looked up and around and thought, what did she just say? She continued to read. Elisha replied to her, "How can I help you? Tell me, what do you have in your house?" "Your servant has nothing there at all," she said, "except a small jar of olive oil." As she continued reading, my head began spinning. This sister was telling me that this single mother of two sons was completely broke, with creditors threatening her family, and she felt there was nothing she could do to stop them. In desperation, she reached out to Elisha, this man of God, widely known for his divine connections, pleading for a way out. Somehow, my life was right there printed in the Bible. But the widow actually was wrong. She did have something. "Your servant has nothing there at all," she said, "except a small jar of olive oil." I learned that day in my single, broke, Black mother mess of a life that I had something too. And God was going to bless me just as He blessed the widow. And now that you're reading this book, He'll do the same for you. So let me ask you, what's your oil?